What's up, my friends? It's TMX once again. Today, I want to talk to you about alternative ways to deal with the grief of your favorite card game, collectibles, hobby. When that falls out, when it hits the fan, when it no longer exists, and to be real, most of our hobbies will cease to exist at one point or another. If you're a fan of Score Dragon Ball Z, eventually it dies out and becomes four iterations later. So every time you got a whole collection, you're ready to play the game, they switch in. Now it's like Union or something now, and you got to relearn the game. And there's other card games like that, like Nom Nom just closing, or when MetaZoo closed and became something new. A lot of people have a hard time dealing with that, and I understand that it's something that's deep inside of your heart. It's something that's true to you. It's something that's part of your life, and now you lost it. And now the first inkling is to go through all the stages of grief and to let out that anger in a negative way and to troll. And I get it. This is, people, they wake up in the morning out of their bunk bed or their Scooby Doo car bed, and they get up and they brush the Dorito dust off of them, and they knock over the cans of Mountain Dew that's piled up, and they go online and they troll the social media pages and the YouTube pages and the Discord, and they try to get banned, and they try to say outlandish things in your DMs, and they try to be the meanest version of themselves to get that anger out so that they can cope with not only things that are going on in their life, but then also because their hobby is not fulfilling them the way that it used to. And there's a slew of ways to use that negative energy and turn it into a positive. I'm going to go over them with you today, and it's going to sound condescending, and it's not. I'm being very truthful. I'm being very sincere in this. And if you have questions, if you want to say, hey, I'm trying to get out of this funk of whatever is no longer around. I hate that, you know, Pokemon has changed once again. They restarted everything. All my cards that I have are no longer playable. I just want to go on the Pokemon Discord or Pokemon fan page and just say the nastiest things you can ever hear of because I want to let my anger out. There's better ways. It starts off with having structure. Structure is really important. Wake up in the morning, you exercise. Exercise will help you mentally and physically try to get that steam out. It also sets you up really good for the rest of the day. Having a better regimen as far as eating, as far as life, eating regular times of the day, eating more healthy. These are things that will help you in the long term as far as your mental health and your physical health. Join a community or start your own community. There might be one that, hey, you might be in a card game now that failed and you want to get into something else. One that maybe you didn't like before. There's a lot of people that have rebound card games or hobbies that they do. Like they start golfing all of a sudden and then they realize that they're not really into golf. They just were golfing because they no longer could do the thing that they wanted to do. They couldn't spar anymore with MMA because their knees are bad, so they started doing golfing. They didn't like golf, and now they're playing dominoes on the weekends or something like that. A lot of people got into Lorcana after MetaZoo died, and they realized that hey, it's not really an intricate card game like MetaZoo was, and it's not really something that adults play. It's a really big kids game. So they now are seeing that was a rebound and their rebound hobby, and now they're going into something else. They're back into Yu-Gi-Oh! They started back in the new MetaZoo, or they're playing Pokemon again, or something else. So it's completely okay. So we start your own community or join a community. You can help people learn how to play a new game or learn a new game, even if you're just trying it for the first time. Just embed yourself. Just get into something that you normally would not get into. It's cool to place yourself in something that's uncomfortable and see if you can get along with the people. I played Fab, Flesh and Blood, and that's really fun. It's not something I want to jump into and be full time, but it's a great game and the community is great. So I got that experience after MetaZoo had died. And you can make content for yourself. You can make a card game for yourself. That's how Obscured started. That's how Lost Wonderland started. That's how Locale started. When the deficit of MetaZoo, or they weren't happy with MetaZoo, they started their own card games. Or people were unhappy with Pokemon. That's how MetaZoo started because of the nostalgia from Pokemon. There's things like that you can be a part of something new and move all that negative energy to positive energy. And I get it. It's so easy to get that dopamine, that attention-seeking experience by saying something ridiculous online or doing something ridiculous. And that dopamine only lasts for a moment. and then it's gone, and then you're left with your true self and what's left over and what you've built. And being salty and mining salt, that's a temporary fix to a bigger problem. All of us who are into TCGs, into collectibles, into things that require us dedicating time and effort into it is mostly, and this is what I feel, this is my opinion, that we're missing something in life. You had a hard upbringing, or maybe we're on the spectrum, or we're neurodivergent, or we have OCD, or something that we need, or just have difficulties in life, stresses in life, and we need something to cope with that, something to fulfill something that we don't have fulfilled with the rest of life. And it's important to know that that's why other people are in it too. So we all have that feeling together. And you can't fill that with negativity, because then it's going to affect the rest of your life. You have a stressful day and you put more stress on yourself because you want to say negative things about a card game that you don't even play or care about. That just causes you more stress. That's going to lead to heart issues. It's going to lead to a lot of different issues in your life. The people around you are going to notice it. So I leave you with this. My coach slash sociology teacher in high school, I have to say, he knew that he was underqualified for the position. Everybody else knew it. I knew it. It didn't give me the right to try to belittle him or do something nasty to him, but I did. I tried to pull a prank on him, and it failed. He caught me, and he sat me down when nobody was around, and he said this to me: "It does not pay off in life to act like a jackass." He said that to me. He was the nicest guy in the world, even though, again, he wasn't the smartest guy. He wasn't the most qualified guy, but he said that to me, and it took me off guard, because why would he say such a thing? And I had to look at myself and say, wow, I must have really messed up. I must have really put myself out there in a terrible light, that somebody as a professor who's considering me to be the class clown or something like that. And I took that to light. I did not take that to light. I took that to heart, and I had to make a change there, because hey, it's fun at 13 to be a troll, but it's not fun at 30, 40 years old to be a troll. At some point, you got to look yourself in the mirror and you say, am I being a jackass? Because, like Coach Patty said, it does not pay to be a jackass. All right, y'all, that's all I have for today. Please be cool, do good, and be nice to each other.